So I just recorded this video. It ended up being almost 14 minutes long, and I'm trying to get it under 5 minutes. So I'm going to try my best to do it over. And I cut a lot of stuff out of the first video. Let me try to get straight to the point. So I know a few comments about the YSL trial. Why should we even care? Da da da, blah blah blah. It's easy to sit back on the outside, from the outside, and throw those boys in jail, give them life, blah blah blah, when you have not been following the case. Listen, I came in the last week of Woody testifying. Woody, I love Woody. Maybe even the last few days of his testimony. Let me insert this clip just in case you don't know who Woody is. This is the one whose interrogation tape was leaked, right? It was leaked, and people are saying he's the snitch. But if you've been following this trial, I'm not convinced that Woody was the snitch. He did some talking. Some of it may have been true, but if you've been following the trial, I am not convinced that it was Woody. I think the tape was leaked so that the public could think, oh, this is Woody, we're going to blame it all on Woody. But that's a whole nother. That's when I ended up jumping in. And it was because I would see all of these clips and I'm like, who is this man? He's hilarious. Clips that went viral with him on the stand, Hilton questioning him. So I jumped in. One day I just said, you know what? I want to see him testify live. I've been seeing all these clips. I want to see him live. So I decided to jump in. Y'all, I have been watching ever since. Because when I jumped in, I saw the injustices that were happening. This is not us trying to get anybody off on crimes, right? You do the crime, you should be man or woman enough to pay the consequences. I'll say it like that, because sometimes the time does not match the crime. That's a whole nother thing. But because of all the injustices and why they doing this, why they doing that, baby, if this case was airtight and so solid, this Rico that we still waiting to show up, you shouldn't have to lie. You shouldn't have to try to sneak in evidence. You shouldn't be harassing your own witnesses, Fulton County. You shouldn't have witnesses on the stand talking about you. You've been harassing them and you're threatening to put them in jail. These are your witnesses. These are people you wanted to come testify. Some of them are victims. Why are you harassing them? But it's just a hot mess. There have been a number of Brady violations. The first judge was recused. I think the first one recused because of his attitude was, he was recused because of an ex parte meeting that happened. Then the second judge, I think they said she recused herself because of a conflict of interest. And now we have Judge Paige Whitaker, which at one minute you want to be fair, the next minute you want to help the state. Judge Whitaker has told the state I think they think they're winning. You just don't have a strong case. I'm trying to clear up your sloppiness. There has been so much that has happened in this trial. It is ridiculous. And the state, they just get a little tap. Baby, I feel like Loveless needs to be disbarred after this, because the way she's handling this case, baby, y'all need to go back through all of her old cases. Adrienne Love, go through her old cases, because there has to be people that are sitting in jail that aren't supposed to be there, or they have way more time than they're supposed to have. I don't know if you all remember the Tyler Perry movie, and I'm trying to go fast, the Tyler Perry movie where it was a lady running for DA, and she would put all kind of stuff in people's case files to trump up their charges because she wanted a high conviction rate and all this mess. I said Tyler Perry knew something, and this is based on Adrienne Love. I don't care what nobody say. Allegedly. I gotta say allegedly, because it is a hot mess. And anybody with common sense that actually has time to follow this trial, you're going to see this ain't right. It's not about skin color, none of that. Adrienne Love black, Hilton is black. It's not about skin color. There are people of all races saying the same thing. This is not right. You cannot just, because you don't like a person or because you want thug, you just, y'all, this is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. They are corrupt. Fulton County is corrupt. They would have been better trying these boys individually, perhaps, because all this stuff happened like 10 years ago, but maybe they would have had a better chance trying them individually. But trying them all together, talking about this is a Rico, we still waiting for y'all to tie the evidence together. I know the jury is absolutely confused. Another thing that was so disheartening, first of all, they waste so much time. This trial has been going on since November 2023, a whole year later, and you all still are struggling to build a case. Come on, y'all. It doesn't take a rocket science to figure this out. A whole year later, the defense hasn't even called their witnesses yet. Okay? And then one day, Simone Hilton is playing a video that she wants to come into evidence, which the judge did not allow it, but it was a video of like some white cops. I think some black ones were there too, but some white cops, and they were trying to get the guy out of the house, and the things were drawn and all of that, and they kept asking him to come out and stuff like that, and everybody was like, why do you want this in the why do you want to bring this in? And she's like, oh well, I just want to show that they say that these boys are handled a certain way in this neighborhood, so I just wanted them to see that the cops had the opportunity to do whatever, but they didn't blank them or anything. It was just, girl. And maybe I feel like it was because Doug Weinstein called out one of the cops for what he did when he arrested two of the boys. That's what I feel like. Because you shouldn't be kneeing somebody and spitting on them, officer, allegedly. But that actually made me cry when she did all of that, trying to get that in, wasting everybody's time. Because I'm like, ma'am, you are a black woman, and you're a dark-skinned black woman. She's darker than me. People around here may know you're a lawyer, but ma'am, this can happen to you on any given day. If you go in the right neighborhood, the right city, the right state, somebody could be having you hemmed up because of your skin color, and you doing all of this trying to get this evidence in. It's not even evidence. Yeah, that made me cry. But they do so much trying to waste time because they don't have a case. They don't have it together. The case is falling apart. They question their witnesses, and then on cross-examination, it takes 2.5 seconds for the dream team over there, the dream team, to tear it apart. So it's just a lot of shady stuff going on. And the fact that they can lie, there were a couple of times since I've been watching that they had people testifying on the stand from a case file that wasn't even theirs, but it was supposed to be. Some type of documentation that wasn't even theirs. It's like, are you kidding me? Oh, oops, I'm sorry. What? It's a hot mess. If you're going to try these boys, if you're going to try anybody, especially with the charges they're facing and the amount of years that they can get, at least be fair. And then on top of that, what they did to Mantled, again, I don't have time to go into details about all of this. You have to look it up. What they did to Mantled messed me up so bad that I had to take a step back. Mantled, they arrested him on a Friday. That Friday night, I woke up 2 or 3 times calling his name, went back to sleep 2 or 3 separate times calling his name. Then I went back to sleep, had a dream about Young Thug, a content creator, and a bunch of other stuff, very intense dream. Then the next night I had a dream about YSL. I was like, for my mental health, I had to take a step back, and I can only imagine what the attorneys are going through. They have amazing attorneys, but I can only imagine what the attorneys are going through. I can only imagine what both Quays, Yak, Shannon, Lil Rod, and Thug are going through in this jail cell, fighting all of this injustice. We're sitting in our homes talking about this case. They're going back to Rice Street and wherever else having to deal with this foolishness. It's crazy. And all because the Fulton County DA office is trying to prove a point. They're just trying to prove a point. They need to get this case together. It's a hot mess. Well, I got it down from 14 minutes, so I don't know, but that's a quick little snippet. But free them boys and free Mantled, period.